HR says only smart people can work here. I work for a small company and we have a one-man HR department. We often get all sorts of memo detailing policies that sound good on paper, but never make practical sense. I think maybe HR got all its education on YouTube or Reddit, or learned it while being mentored after hours by the CEO. Recently HR implemented a new standardized testing for screening new candidates, which scores candidates on their skills in mathematics, language, logic, and a bunch of industry-specific questions. The idea is to weed out those who present well on paper and in person, but in fact can't do the most basic stuff. While this could be an excellent idea to weed out the morons that keep walking through the door, HR thought it's an excellent idea to make everyone, including those who's already been here for years, do it as well. For the employee files, of course. HR gave a metrics for where scores should range for new candidates, sent us links to complete the tests, and requested that they are completed by Friday. As we all know, HR never do things just for employee files. We suspect HR is trying to get rid of a few crucial people who are not great with computers, not fast on the calculator, but are in fact the beating souls to the workplace. Everyone at the office pretty much all boycotted the test when HR pressured the CEO to threaten our bonuses. We begrudgingly complied. HR wants to score us based on arbitrary standardized tests as benchmark? Sure. We spent the next 3 days after hours working on the tests together, one test at a time. At the end, we all scored 9/10 in every category, because we got some pretty bright people helping out. And guess what? We forced HR to do the same test. And HR scored 5/10 for math, 4/10 for logic. Guess who should be on the chopping block? HR's justification for the low score: my job does not require math. No, not like this. It would have been more interesting for everyone to have scored 0/10 and to see if the CEO was willing to fire the entire company. HR score 4/10 on logic? I call BS. HR cheated too. HR will just claim they did it bad on purpose to make y'all feel better about working for them. HR should have had all current employees take it and use those scores to create the benchmark for external. You have to validate the tests or face legal problems. They did this ass backwards, and with the wrong intent. So what did the CEO say about that? Please tell me everyone sent him an email demanding what is going to be done when it was shown that they were the most singular incompetent person in the company. Also, have people been demanding the CEO also take the test? Otherwise he's at a 0/10. HR exists to benefit the company, not to benefit the employees of said company. BTW, what did the CEO score on this test? Did I miss the episode where Dwight take over Toby's job? I'm sorry HR, you've been chopped. Judges? Our head of QA had this idea. Force all the testers to take classes in programming with mandatory homework. All it did was piss off the old-timers and piss off the younger people that wanted to become level 2 testers but couldn't cause they didn't know programming and automation. I left QA for DevOps and then learned that 80% of IT work isn't super dependent on programming. The QA head was finally let go after she killed morale and we were unable to find testers that would stick around for more than a month. HR scoring shockingly low on logic? Color me surprised. Does your company has any legal department or anyone with legal background? Because HR seems to want a lawsuit. If they really fired anyone based on the test results, they would really be in hot water. The hilarious part about this is that in many other circumstances, HR wonks actively oppose anyone with the generally accepted hallmarks of intelligence, like graduate degrees, work experience, and workplace ranking, because they're terrified that people who have those things are short-timing job hoppers who want too much money and will bail at the first opportunity. They want average achievers who will be content with what's given to them. Beautiful. Though I do wish basic computer literacy was standard practice. If not for hiring, then for orientation. Where is the start button? Where is the Windows key on your keyboard? Shade in the button you press to perform a right-click. Illustration of computer mouse. Quote, your Outlook shortcut is missing from the taskbar in desktop. Where is another place you can open the program? Quote, I'm sure there are a bazillion other questions that could be added. It's 2022. Windows isn't newfangled technology anymore. There's no excuse to not know the basics of it by now. If you flub the test, they can get you training on how to use the thing so you can finally join the late 20th century. My first dream job was work at a video rental store. Family Video. I walked to frequently. Turns out I needed to pass a SAT math test to get an interview. I did not pass the test. I was 15. RIP Family Video. Dump HR for being too stupid to pass his own test. We suspect HR is trying to get rid of a few crucial people who are not great with computers, not fast on the calculator, but are in fact the beating souls to the workplace. Well, this kind of undermines your story. Don't get me wrong. HR shouldn't be doing it this way. But if you have a bunch of people who struggle with computers and calculators, they're almost certainly replaceable by people who are more productive. I will point out that in my experience, the beating heart of the company people that aren't great with computers vastly overestimate their importance and underestimate how disruptive their inability to expand their skill set is. Sure, not for every company, every person, etc. But hand-holding under productive fossils is not a blast for the people who have to carry the fossils' workload in addition to their own. Not exactly the same, but we had a reorganization in our IT shop many years ago. Essentially, they eliminated all our positions and rewrote them so they could get everyone to be salaried. It impacted all parts of IT, including field techs. But the focus of this comment is on system administration, engineering staff of all flavors, server, storage, networking, security, etc. To reapply, you had to put in an application and take a two-part test. The first part was general knowledge across all knowledge bases, firewalls, Linux, Windows, routers, switches, etc. The second part was specific to the position you applied for. Network engineers for networking, server engineers for their OSes, etc. Prior to testing day, they said the minimum score to get your position outright would be 80. If less than 80, then you could go for an interview to make up points, then get hired on a 6-month probationary period. Testing day comes. We all take the tests. Soon thereafter, they send out an email saying they were grading the tests and the minimum score was going to be 70. Those who got 70 or above got their jobs outright. Less than 70. Again. Interview. Hire. 6-month probationary period. Turned out only 2 people, out of some hundreds, got higher than 80. I was one of them. The other is now a manager on the security side of things. I'll leave who got the higher flavor of 80 as an exercise to the reader.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.